All right, everybody. Hey there. Welcome to another episode of The Cut. You have all joined us on this journey for a little over a year now, and we're getting more serious. We're getting bigger and better. We're getting legit mics.
We're getting women on the podcast.
Am I the first girl?
You are the first
I'm the first woman?
Yes.
Not only is she the first woman on the podcast, but she's the first actual girl that I think either of us have talked to outside of our wives in a long time.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
She's part of the clique with my wife. So
I'm kind of a loser.
I fuck with Jahida. And Megan. I fuck with Megan.
I fuck with Jahida. She's cool as hell.
yeah.
I don't really fuck with Megan. She scares the shit out of me. No, I love my wife.
So go ahead and introduce who we have here, Tom.
All right. So we have Shannen Tome.
It's Tome.
Tom.
I've been operating on the past.
Tom, it's Tome.
I've been operating on the assumption for the past like 5 years it was Tome. So my mind's now blown.
I get Thome too, even though there's no H in my last name. I get Thome.
I get Thom all the time.
Wait. Yeah, yours makes sense. There's no H in your last name?
Really?
Oh.
Just Tome.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Well, then it'd be like Tomey though, like Jim
Yep,
Tomey,
Tomey,
the
yep.
Yeah. That makes
Tome.
sense.
baseball player. Indian's great. But yeah, so Shannen, you not only are the first female that we have on here, you are also the first to work in a capacity with children. So what's your job title? Where do you work at?
So I'm a gym teacher over at Building Bridges and Happy Hearts. So I have the best job in the world. I get to hang out with kids all day and make them run and play and have fun.
That's the best job?
Yeah. It's the best job in the world to be a gym teacher.
But it's deeper than that.
Gym
though.
teacher would be cool.
It's deeper than that.
It is deeper than that.
Because you're operating with children who are maybe disadvantaged in a way or disabled, handicapped in some way, right?
Yeah.
And by pushing them, by being a gym teacher, by doing these things, you're not just letting them have fun. You're challenging them. You're bringing them out to be the best physical version of themselves.
So
Correct,
explain.
yeah.
All right. So explain what Building Bridges is.
So Building Bridges was created, don't quote me, in like 2010. So it's not a new thing. I mean, I guess 2010, that is kind of new. So
Yeah, 13 years.
yeah. So it's not something that's been around for a long time. Her name was Ginger. I can't remember her last name, but she's very well known in the community who started the Building Bridges program for students in like the Ashtabula County area school system for kids who can't be successful in their home schools. So we get kids from like Conneaut, Grand Valley, Madison.
So all over the county?
All over the county, yeah.
So when you say,
At that point.
what's that?
Extending into Lake at that point, too. Because
I'm sorry.
Madison.
Not
yeah.
Madison.
Okay.
Not Madison.
So just Ashtabula County.
Yes, Ashtabula County.
So when you say can't be successful in their homeschool, what do you mean?
So they can't function. They can't sit still. A lot of them need medicine. They have like ADHD or trauma to where they have behaviors, so they can't, if something sets them off, like a regular child is getting made fun of in school, maybe children that go to my school, they can't handle that kind of stuff. They can't handle sitting in a desk for 7 hours being told what to do, pretty much. So they have to have breaks in between, and most of them get IEPs, which are like individual education plans.
What is that?
So that's where
Is it like a one-on-one?
so
with a teacher,
it's
or?
where like a big group of us come together and figure out the best plan for the student to be successful. So an IEP gets like the principal, superintendent, any of teachers involved. So like I'm on a lot of students' IEPs. You write goals for them to be successful in school. So like if a kid comes to Building Bridges and they end up, say they get there in second grade and they graduate, they're not graduating from Building Bridges. They still get a diploma from their home school technically.
So they graduate, you're saying if they graduate high school? Mm-hmm. So you have kids all the way.
Yes. So
from what grades are there?
So pre-K to high school.
You have kids in there from all
ages.
13,
Yep.
14 grades.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
No joke.
Yep. And each classroom gets about 9 kids or so. ranging to, because a lot of them, so some of them don't start school until they're like 5 or 6 years old. So they're very behind academically, which is why they aren't successful in their home school most of the time, because they're not even brought to the school to begin with, when most students or kids start school when they're 3 or 4. So
with an IEP and you being on that, I think the one thing that when dealing with an IEP that some people don't understand is that it's the individualized educational plan. And what that does is it encompasses not just like their social gains,
right.
It's their educational gains,
right.
It's their physical gains,
everything.
Emotional, everything. So it's not just, it's an individualized plan, but I think plan is misleading because it's a conglomerate of plans,
yes.
right?
And it's constantly edited, constantly.
Yes. So for my son, it's every 9 weeks. There's a new IEP that's made.
Okay, so Wyatt is on an IEP.
He has to be, because with Wyatt being differently abled in the way that he is, Wyatt is technically in 3rd grade, right? Well, no, it's not technically. Wyatt is in 3rd grade, but he's in a special education classroom. Wyatt's plan, so like in 3rd grade, you learn the basics of multiplication, maybe, right? Like 2 times 2 is 4, that kind of thing. That's
right.
what their math is for 3rd grade. Wyatt's math on his IEP isn't to, okay, we're going to do multiplication or maybe addition, if you're a little bit delayed, maybe, right? Wyatt's is, we can recognize when there's 4 of something, when there's 6 of something.
Gotcha.
Or maybe Wyatt's IEP is for him to use his gait trainer for 15 minutes a day without complaining.
Right.
Because at first it's just get him to use the gait trainer.
Right.
Then it's, okay, why?
So it's based off of their...
It's based off...
That's why it's an individual.
Yes, it's individual. It's not... So like if the 3 of us needed IEPs, we wouldn't be grouped together like, oh, they have the same...
No.
Hey, maybe they all have ADHD and they can't sit still, right? So we're all in 12th grade at that point.
Right.
But Shannon's IEP is going to be different from mine because Shannen has a different way of learning, maybe. And at where you're at, how involved are the parent schools? So like you talk about, they come from all over the county.
Right.
Do you meet with the principal and coordinate with them, or maybe
So,
the gym teacher from Grand Valley?
No, so
Okay.
we all have our own teachers and we have our own principal. Our principal takes care of the Happy Hearts unit and the Building Bridges unit. So it's all together in one.
Okay.
So we have one principal who deals with the children from there. So,
and what's like the one thing I've always wondered about, like those schools where like people from all sorts of different schools go to. Obviously, busing's involved. Obviously, parents getting them there's involved. Say in like a case of like a inclement weather, snowstorm, maybe.
Yeah.
If Grand Valley doesn't have school that day, are the Grand Valley kids expected to be at your school that day?
No. So if there's no busing that runs, they aren't. Sometimes we can still schedule busing for them. It might not be through the Grand Valley system. Because we do try to get our kids to school, because for most of them, that's their safe place.
Exactly.
So that we try to get them to school. We've had kids walk to school, and even though they didn't have busing or a ride, because they want to be there. So.
Absolutely. So it's fostering an environment of not just it's not just fostering an environment of learning, but acceptance and of kindness. And I think that in a lot of school systems, those tenets are kind of missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
some of them, yeah. They forget that children, it's becoming a more known thing that each child learns differently. Like nowadays, it's hard to get kids to sit still and focus on something for 7 hours. Not every kid learns that way.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have to. I mean,
agree.
teachers should be creative and educative, and with the cell phones and stuff, kids tend to they can do more than what they're being told to do, in my opinion. I think that some school systems are failing our kids because we're not challenging them enough or giving them more hands-on activities to learn or different options to learn. But it's becoming a more known thing now, so that's good.
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's taken that long for a school's educational entity essentially to learn that not every child learns the same way. I mean, when I was in college going to become a teacher, that was one of the tenets that they taught me, was that, hey, you're going to have kids that are more hands-on learners, more auditory learners, more visual learners, and you have to learn how to take all of those different learning styles and integrate them to make it so that they all remain interested. They all remain on task, right? And it's crazy that to me that when you and I were in school, right, you didn't really go to class, but you knew the tests, right? And ultimately the goal of high school back then was just have them pass the test and get them the fuck out, right? So why was everyone giving you flack? Or maybe not, that's just a phrase, you know, why was everyone, but why was someone giving you flack for not going to Mrs. Capitina's math class when you're just going there and you're taking the test and you're getting a better grade than the dude that sits there every day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never understood that. I've never understood in college too. Oh yeah, you don't come to class, so I'm going to fail you. Yeah, but I passed every test. Like, so why do I need to be there?
I mean, I always thought that was a great point. Like, if I can do the work, then why the hell do I need to, you know?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were challenged enough in high school or college?
That's a great question.
Well, I definitely didn't go to college,
Well,
but I think there were areas where maybe it was challenging, but maybe I just didn't apply myself. No, I actually, I take that back. I know I didn't apply myself in some subjects. Like, there were some subjects that were more interesting to me, so I applied myself, or I caught on a little bit easier. Where some subjects now, you know, subjects that I love now, so like science and social studies, hated it when I was, you know, in school. But now that I'm older, those are one of my two favorite things to talk about. Science. We talk about it all the time on the show. We'll talk about, you know, aliens or, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Science, that's super interesting. And now, like, geography or social studies, politics, love listening or talking about politics. But yeah, so I didn't apply. I feel like I didn't apply myself, maybe because it wasn't part of, you know, wasn't of interest. But if I did apply myself, I always did well.
What about you? Did you feel challenged in school?
No, I definitely was the type that's like, I just need to get by. Give me a C, give me a B. I don't care. I just want to get by, and I want to play my sports, and I want to stay on a team. That was my real motive. I liked learning about school, but I definitely wasn't invested for sure. But it's just who your environment is, if it's a priority. Like, if I had an incentive, I think if my parents were like, hey, if you get good grades, or if you do something, or if they even seem interested, like, I never went home and was like, hey, you know, or where my mom or dad or whoever was there was like, hey, so what'd you do in school today? I don't know if that was ever asked to me. Ever.
Really?
Never. I don't think so.
I can agree with that. I don't think
So it wasn't.
I wasn't really
interest.
asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Really?
Environment plays
Yeah.
such a huge role.
That's
If your
crazy.
parents,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember, you know, of a time, so I'm gonna say no. But I mean, I grew up living with my grandmother. She would definitely ask me if I had homework. But as far as, like, you know, what did I learn or something like that,
yeah.
my grandmother, she wouldn't ask, because back in her day, you know, it was really common to drop out of school. Like, you know, back then you had to grow up really fast. Like, my grandmother was a mom at 16. So she didn't, you know, from 16, what are you in, like a sophomore? But I think she was even out of school in like 8th grade. So she never considered herself like smart. Yeah. So she didn't really try to, it wasn't, if I ever asked, she never helped me with my homework. If I ever asked her how to spell a word, you know what she'd tell me? S-H-I-T. And I'm like, Grandma, that's not how you spell it. She's like, then look in the dictionary. And that's legit how it was.
That's crazy.
So she bought me a dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, and I passed that down to my son too. Like, what do you got? You got, especially him, you got Googled, bro. Like,
Yeah. Speak text.
yeah. You don't even have to flip a page.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so you said something that I thought was pretty important, because that's how I felt whenever I was in high school, even growing up to this day, which I kind of regret, but I think it kind of made me the disciplined person I am. But you said if it's not a priority. So back in high school, my priority was have a job, make money.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my priorities.
That was stuffed down our minds, was to do that.
Right. So there were times, especially once I got into higher education, like junior, senior year, where I would skip school just so I could go work.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you work at?
Wendy's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it has to be a priority. I mean, learning is so important, and the environment plays a huge role in my opinion. But yeah, same for me. I was mainly told about sports, like, hey, if you don't get good grades, then you can't play this sport. And sports is where I felt the most value in my life. So that's why it's so important to me. And I think a lot of kids deal with that too.
Is that what made you become a gym teacher?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sports pretty much kept me from doing bad things or hanging out with bad people, for sure. That is definitely a thing. Kept me in a good crowd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are who you surround yourself with. You know what I mean?
For sure.
If you surround yourself with shitty people, you're going to turn more often than not into a shitty person. You know, I mean, just think about like Michael Vick, the football player. I mean, he literally had everything in the world, but he never stopped surrounding himself with the people that constantly brought him down. You know, they were all yes men. So then Michael Vick finds himself in a situation where he never grew up. He never told these guys to grow up. So then he got in trouble and went to fucking prison. And you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So there's definitely validity in the sports, feeling value in sports, but it's not just the value of being good at sports, but value of being around those people who value you.
The community, the team.
The community.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
a big thing.
huge, yeah.
So how do you... So as far getting back to building bridges, whenever students come there, and is there like an obvious improvement once they get there?
Yeah. So what happens is they don't know what they're coming to, for one, and honestly,
why is it like boot camp? I feel like that's how I felt once I got to boot camp.
I mean, we have to
a little bit more strict.
Yes, we have to set boundaries and rules and
hold them.
Yeah, and hold them, right, and go through certain disciplinary actions. Some for minor, some for major, and we do have major disciplinary actions that end up being addressed. So but all in all, every person that's in that building cares wholeheartedly for each and every student. You have to. I mean, you can't work there and have zero empathy. And I think if you're going to be a teacher or be in the education system, you have to have empathy of some sort, for sure. Because if you don't, then you shouldn't be in the education system. But the students, they get there, and each classroom's small. I don't think we go more than 10 per classroom. And so they get there, and they have we call it a honeymoon phase, where they're good, or I don't like saying good, but they show us their best for a week or so, and then a switch flips.
I feel like that's with every person.
Yep.
Like the first impression, you're gonna be on your best behavior, no matter
Absolutely.
what.
Yep.
That's a weird psychological subconscious too. Like we don't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But we're like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. But then once we see, you know what it is, and I think it has a lot to do with these kids in particular too. Like I think maybe this is where it comes down to it, especially the ones with behavioral issues. The real, like you said, the honeymoon phase, and then they start to test those boundaries. They start to test those boundaries. They chipping away at those boundaries a little bit more, see what they can get away with. And then once they find that crack, that hole in the fence, they try to exploit it. Yeah. And then they keep exploiting it over and over and over. And then I think that's what gets them in hot water.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of people, but
yeah. It's definitely not. I find myself behaving in the ways that some of the children do mentally. They unfortunately just don't know how to cope with it yet. Whereas adults, hopefully not most of us, but some of us can cope with, all right, I'm pissed off right now and I just want to break something. but we don't. I mean, sometimes we don't, sometimes we do. But children,
That's
they
our
don't
fourth kid.
have that. They don't have that. That like shield of reality, or what do you call it? What's it called? I can't think of the word.
The filter.
No, I think I know what you're saying. Like a self-reflection.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes. They don't have the awareness. That's what I'm thinking. of.
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
They don't have that at all. So, but my job in gym is to teach them about themselves, like their body awareness at least.
Yeah.
So, and you'll be surprised at how many kids don't play. They don't play. They don't play games anymore. They don't play foursquare. They don't play basketball in groups. They don't play volleyball. They don't play football. Half of them don't know how to catch a ball, have zero hand-eye coordination. I mean, it's
How many of them don't care to?
they don't know how to. They've never played. Most of them are stuck in a room with the door locked and a TV on or a screen in front of them, because when they were born, phones were created or whatever.
Right.
So that's what they do. They sit and they play games. They could talk to me all day about video games or the screen of some sort, but can't tell me what foursquare is or how to shoot a basketball. Like, it's so off.
But how crazy is it when you get them to play and buy into it and they make that first basket?
Yeah.
You know what
it's
I'm
great.
saying?
It's amazing. I literally get so happy when I see them playing together, or if they go to recess, half of them would just be by themselves, because growing up, the kids, they're by themselves. They don't have parents playing with them. They don't have siblings playing with them. They are by themselves majority of the time. So when I see them playing games that I taught them, that makes me very happy.
You're saying you see them outside of gym
Yes,
class.
outside of gym class, playing
Heck yeah.
basketball at the hoops at Building Bridges, or playing foursquare, throwing a football, all that stuff. It's very rewarding. And Building Bridges hasn't had a gym teacher. They've had on and off gym teachers for a couple years. The school couldn't fund a full-time gym teacher, so it was only a part-time thing at first. And then they went without a gym teacher, I believe, for 4 years. So there was a huge gap where there was no teaching of gym. And then I came last year, and I like to think I'm very thorough with what I'm teaching, because coaching has helped me adapt how children learn sports.
Sure.
So it's helped me a lot.
So you talk about coaching. So you're a coach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where do you coach at?
Well, I coached at Jefferson for right when I graduated almost. And then I coach at Lakeside now.
Coach at Lakeside now.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
yeah.
And where'd you go to high school?
Jefferson.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. My coach there, he's the one who like pushed for me to get the job and stuff.
Nice.
So
So tell us about that journey. How did you become a coach?
So I honestly think because of my passion for sports, even though I'm not tall, obviously I'm only 4'11".
Yeah, your feet are not touching the ground, by
I
the way.
look taller than I am. I'm
yeah,
not.
she's about 4 or 5 inches from away from touching
Yeah.
the ground.
Yes. So, I obviously wasn't the best athlete out there, but I'll tell you what, I probably put the most heart into sports. Even though I wasn't great, I showed up to everything. Even if I had to walk, I was there, or ask for a ride, I was there. I put my whole heart into sports always. Where were we going with that? I forget.
Like what was your journey to coaching?
Yeah, I remember. So, Palm, he's the head coach at Jefferson now. He definitely noticed that, and he definitely, he helped me out a lot with stuff, like paid for certain things for me to help me, like with tennis shoes, and then I would babysit. So it wasn't like he was just giving me stuff. Like I worked for the things that he was able to provide for me, because, life or whatever. But, so right when I graduated, he goes, "Hey, 7th grade position's open for volleyball. If you want it, it's yours." I'm like, oh, hell yeah, let's go. So that's how that happened.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Don't ask a lady that.
I just thought you were a lot older. I thought you were like in your 30s.
Nope, I'm 26, and started coaching when I was Balin. There's a leeway period, so I started coaching like close to 19.
Okay.
So I had
you
a
were
couple
fresh
months off.
out
Yeah,
of-
and
yeah.
Balin was only, I think, 6 months, maybe a year when I started coaching.
Now, your daughter, is she into sports?
Yeah, she actually starts her first volleyball practice on Monday. So
How
that's
excited are you?
Oh, dude, I'm lit. I actually might stop coaching just so I can be there for her because coaching takes up so much time. Like it's insane.
You're teaching junior high volleyball?
Well, now I'm up. I do like JV.
Oh, are you JV now?
Yeah. Mhm.
Because I know whenever I was at the school teaching.
Yeah, I did basketball too and track.
Yeah.
So that was yeah. But yeah, so I was at the junior high, now I'm at the high school.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Congrats.
fun. Yeah.
That's really awesome. So being an athlete yourself back in the day and obviously playing volleyball, so you had a certain way that your coach coached you. You had a certain notion of how your teammates acted. Like, what do you think is the biggest difference now as a coach that you see different in athletes today?
Oh, that's a great question.
I'm full of them.
It's hard to come across. I don't know if it's always been this way, but it's hard to find athletes that care about sports. Like kids in general.
Is it going back to the screens?
Yes.
Really?
I think so.
So what do you think? So what do you think we could do better to get kids outside? Yeah.
Take away the screen. Don't take them away. I think it's a great technology. I think it's a great learning source, but that's all it should be. Is a learning
So all right. So like TikTok, right?
Yeah.
TikTok's huge here, but TikTok here is way different than TikTok in China. In TikTok in China, it's all about, education or just learning,
Really?
Yeah, it's way different there, but it's mandated there. It's government mandated. Would you be for something like that?
Oh yeah, I'd vote for that for sure.
Would you really?
I think it's gross, the media and how much it takes over lives of kids who I mean, it's already natural for us to, even before media, it was natural for us to be insecure or whatever. It makes
what would you take away on TikTok? Or
I don't have TikTok really.
I know, but I'm saying like on social media, like what would you like what would you look for? Like what would you be in favor of? Would you just be in favor of it has to be educational, or would you be in favor of like a lot of it's just entertainment?
Yeah, entertainment's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sitting on your phone for 20 minutes to have a decompression time or whatever.
Oh yeah, and that's it there too. In China, I think there's like a time limit. Like after a certain time, I think you can't even get on TikTok. You can't even access TikTok.
Get on your phone. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Wild.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. It's so, I don't think people want to. I find myself, even me, opening my phone and checking every single app for what? Like that takes 20 minutes.
It's those red dots on the front. They give you anxiety.
Yeah, like I find myself, and then I have to put down my phone. Like, why am I even checking that? I don't care to be on that right now. It's such a habit now to just go on my phone and check everything without even thinking about it. And then 20 minutes go down, and then yeah, it's just a whole cycle of just wasted time.
So like, I don't have X, I guess it's called.
You don't have the X?
What's X?
Twitter.
Oh yeah, I don't have Twitter either.
I have a TikTok because I have to, like, to promote car sales, but like I don't really go on TikTok. I think it's dumb. Like, it's 30-second videos of nothing. I like Facebook just because I've had it since 2007.
Yeah.
And Instagram, I mean, I used to love Instagram, but now I think it's kind of stupid. The only like app I have to check is Reddit. Do you know what Reddit is?
Yes.
So Reddit,
I don't have one, but
I have to check it. Like literally, like I go on my phone and like I'm looking. I mean, literally, like right here, you see the first. It's the Reddit
first notification.
Yeah. Like I have to check. It's like a compulsion for me. Like because I have to know what's going on in the world. Like I have like anxiety really bad, like about things that I don't know about, right? Mm-hmm. And like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And I just feel like a comfort in that. And I've often wondered if that's a thing for young people. I won't say kids, but like young people encompassing 6 to 18. Like, are they on their phones so much because this world is so big that they feel that they can make it a little smaller and a little more manageable by going on their phone?
Well, I mean,
so think about like when we were kids, we didn't have this shit, right? And
all
what
you
did-
knew was your environment.
all you
really.
knew, yeah, you just knew your environment because there was never like, oh, well, I know Jack from fucking Indiana. You know what I mean? Because back then we couldn't. But
Right.
now you can know Jack from Indiana because maybe you met him playing Halo online, or maybe you found him on TikTok and now you're boys with him.
it all started with ICQ.
ICQ, bro. I never had one of those. I never had one of that. That shit just was weird. I was like, I want a screen name. I don't want a fucking number.
It was the Yahoo chat rooms.
Those Yahoo chat rooms, bro. Those got
Those were wild.
Those
You're
guys.
too. Were you
No,
there?
I was too young for a Yahoo chat room.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
I was
But
too,
I
but I
was
was
on
still
there.
on there.
I was on
there.
That was. I'm gonna tell you what. That girlfriend you had was definitely a dude. That was definitely a dude.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
That was a predator, dog. That's not.
Oh
funny.
yeah, Predator's on there for sure.
That's not funny. Praise
Girl-
God.
Girls of my age would go on there and we would just giggle and like, that's a dick. Like that's what we did with that.
Oh,
But also,
Or it was gross actually.
so was the
Shit
internet.
related.
the internet made everything bigger, and that's why I think kids want to be on their phones so much because they want all of it, but they want it to be smaller. You know what I mean? Because it's so overwhelming.
Right.
But if I can control it and just keep it in here, at least it feels manageable, right?
I hate being on my. I hide my phone when I'm at home. I'll hide it. because
Megan
I don't
yells
want,
at me if I'm on my phone.
I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. I honestly hate it.
You got a nice one.
It's
It's
okay.
a nice case.
It's all right. But
It's nice because
just,
I fixed it.
yeah, like 500 times. Like he's fixed my phone probably 5 times, literally.
Shout out.
Is it cracked?
Yeah.
Is
Oh.
it bad cracked?
Oh yeah, it should still be cracked. Oh no, that's Bryce's phone. Bryce's phone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So.
Oh, I thought you meant for a second like you took Bryce's phone here. Like, oh yeah, this is just Bryce's phone.
I wish we
use
could
his.
just use one phone. I would. I could 100% live without my phone. I don't know if majority of the world could say that. I could 100% say
I mean, if I was forced to, I would have to. But
What do you quantify as a phone though? Because I could go without my phone as long as I can have my iPad. You know what I mean? Like if I can have my iPad with the pen, cool day.
so you're saying take the calling feature away,
Yeah.
give you data, and you're
Oh,
good.
give me data. I'm fine. I
Yeah.
hate talking on the phone. I
do too.
And I
Really?
hate texting.
I hate texting.
I'm going
I
to tell
hate
you why I
texting.
hate texting. I have really bad anxiety. Like, I read
You've
into
said that like 3
everything.
times.
I know
Do you
because I
take
have
medicine?
anxiety about it. No, I can't take medicine. I was addicted and it was bad. It's a whole thing. Praise God. So I read into everything, right? Like anything someone says to me. So if I text Anthony like a big long thing about like what I want, like maybe us to do on the podcast, and he just responds,
Okay.
no, K.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you already said this before. This
45 minutes, I'm analyzing. Oh, he's probably over there like, oh, now he gives a shit. Cool, Tom. Now you're fucking doing something. You know
yeah,
what I
you
mean?
read
I'm
too
like,
deep into it,
I
bro.
read way too deep into shit. Like I called that dude from work earlier to see how everything went. He didn't pick up and he hasn't read my text yet. He's mad at me. He's mad at me. I'm actually checking the. Someone just texted me, and you can read this for verification. If I was queer, I'd suck you dry right now.
What?
Yeah. What?
Interesting.
That is a nice text to get.
It's not.
Would you? Well, I mean, would you? Like,
No.
Are you gonna respond?
I am not going to respond.
You're gonna leave him anxious now.
Good.
You're the dickhead now, Tom.
Good.
He's gonna be thinking
I'm not.
he doesn't want me.
Huh?
I said your friend's gonna be thinking he doesn't want me.
Is that a friend?
It's not a friend.
I don't know.
I saw multiple messages in there.
Oh, I
saw
mean,
the-
we talk. Like, we're cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast once.
Okay. You're not gonna say who it is.
Josh Krause. Josh Krause. Josh texting me gay shit. Just kidding. If you're gay, I don't want to offend
Oh
you.
God.
On God. Not oh God, on God.
So
I got real off topic.
yeah,
but
we were way off topic. So the initial question was, what would you do, or what would you recommend to get kids more active? You said take away the phones. Anything else?
More parent or sibling involvement in hanging out. Like I know so many parents that, not saying that that's a bad parenting. I'm just saying our parenting could be better. Because we
agree.
can only do what we know.
Do you think part of our parenting issue is screens for parents as well?
Possibly. Yeah. Or the initial fact of go find something to do. Like that's really hard for kids sometimes.
But you know what? When we
My
were that
parents used
age,
to say that all the time.
all right. So you're saying it's really hard for kids to
Yes.
go find something to do.
Yes, they want their parents to
So
be
there's a lack of
involved.
creativity,
Yes.
lack of originality.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to that.
No, why?
So my dad, because my mom was working and my dad being disabled, he couldn't.
I'm saying nowadays, not when you were a kid.
But what I was gonna
Okay.
what I'm getting at is my dad would always tell me go find something to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'd go out there and I'd fucking find something to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that. Like I used to make mud pies and put little like leaves on it and pretend it was food
like a
or
gnome
whatever.
home.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But kids don't really do that nowadays.
No.
But a lot of us suffer from anxiety or depression or whatever. I think because we didn't have that initial bond with our family to hang out and play and do things
Hell
together.
no. I didn't want to be. No, I wanted to be with my friends.
I wanted to be I loved hanging out with Dave and all those guys and like playing sports and like, you know, like going in my backwoods and building tree forts and shit. I loved that. But god damn, dude, I wish my dad would have fucking like thrown the football with me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like even like hang out. Like
Yeah.
See,
I miss that. And now it really eats me up because my dad never did it to me and I can't do it with my son. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I didn't get it. I don't have it either way. And it sucks. And now my younger brother has a fucking kid and it turns out to be a girl and the girl wants nothing to do with football. She just wants to look at me and smile and go, "Hi."
Well, do what she wants to do. Hang out. Like that's another thing too. If a
Hey,
kid-
listen, I played Barbie like a fucking
good,
champ.
proud of you. Men should play Barbie.
I got
It's
it.
did you go
Alan.
see the new Barbie movie with her?
Not with her, but I took
It's
Wyatt.
not a kid movie, I guess.
No, it's not.
It's not a kid movie.
No, that shit ain't a kid movie. But yo, that movie was all about women empowerment, bro, and I was 110% behind it. I was driving home and I was like, fuck these dudes that want to keep women down. Pieces of shit. I might be one. I'm an asshole.
Were you like, you know what, Megan? Did you go see it with Megan?
Yeah.
So, so were you like, you know what, Megan? You should be in power. You drive.
No, I drove.
See why? Why didn't you give her the power?
Because I wanted her to be able to sit back and enjoy the fucking ride. Because you know Megan, she likes to relax. So I was letting her relax. And I was driving.
Okay.
And then Wyatt was hanging out in the back, and my mom was too. I brought my mom to see it. I went to the movies. I go to movies with my mom.
That's it.
Yeah.
My brain went somewhere else when you were talking about you and Megan in the front seat and all that, and then you said your mom was in the back seat. So,
and Wyatt.
And it was a fucking party.
so it definitely threw me off. I'm like, oh, they're really close with his family.
Megan and I are close. You know, we're like we're cool. You know, like we love each other.
That's good.
Yeah.
So more
Oh, I
parent
could go on.
involvement.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh no, I was just if we were gonna go into topic about relationships, I could talk all day about that too. But yeah, parent involvement for sure. I think for kids, being creative, letting them do what they want to do, and hanging out with them. Like if Balin wants to play dolls, go play dolls.
Yeah. Fuck
And
yeah.
it should only be the mom doing it. It should be the dad too, or
Absolutely.
the mom playing football with the kid, tackling whatever the kid's love language is the most important thing.
I keep hearing that phrase "love language" now.
Yeah.
Is that like one of the new buzzwords?
Yeah.
No, it's actually not new.
It's not new.
There's
but it's,
5. I've
practiced
learned about it.
more. It's practiced more now.
Yeah, there's like 5 love languages. Couldn't tell you what they were. I've looked into them and studied them quite a bit. Couldn't tell you what they are. Like some of them are like touch. Some of them are.
Yeah. So it's
Just-
physical touch. You got me thrown for a loop. Quality time.
Gifts.
Words of affirmation, gifts. Social media love. That's like a added love language, I guess.
What the fuck?
It's like so where if like Bryce were to post a picture of me and say, "Oh, my wife's so beautiful," that's like a social media love language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Mm.
That's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it makes sense.
I guess that's cool. Yeah.
It feels nice to be recognized.
Yeah,
That's part of it,
that's kind of what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
So
Like that recognition.
I would
Show
say that
off.
falls into words of affirmation.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's different because words of affirmation are from you to that person. You know what I mean? Like Shannen, you are a strong person, you are a great person, and you coach the hell out of them girls. That's an exchange between you and I. That's my affirmation to you.
Right.
My love language would be like posting a picture and being like, this is my friend, and you know, we are
Recognition.
yeah, like a recognition.
But I still would feel
to
like
other
that.
people.
But I still feel like that would be words of affirmation. I feel like they're in the same category.
I can see. There's a little gray area, but I can see how that would align for sure.
But yeah, there's 5 love languages. And
I can't remember the 5th one.
see, then how important is it?
It is important. It's just people only focus on their love language. They don't think about
Well, see,
their partner's
you can take a
love
test.
language.
You can take a test online to figure out what your love language is.
Really?
Yes. Should we figure out your love language right now,
Figure out
Tom?
my love language.
Let's figure
I
out
can
Tom's.
probably tell you what your love language
What's
is.
my love language?
I think your love language is definitely words of affirmation.
You think?
Why do you
Maybe
believe that?
gifts. Maybe
Why do you-
gifts.
Why do you believe that?
Because you said you have anxiety when people don't talk to you back or say things nice to you back.
I do.
Oh,
I do
that's
get
an
that
interesting
anxiety.
observation.
Yeah.
I get really anxious.
and you work as a car salesman, so I feel like gifts are very important to you. Or nice things.
Nice things are important
Yes.
to me.
So-
I work very hard and I want nice things. I
Yes,
want my
there's
wife to
nothing
have
wrong
nice
with that.
things. And I want my son to have nice things.
Yes.
Like, I want Wyatt to have, like, everything. If I could buy Wyatt a gold-plated wheelchair with spinners, I would.
You can make it.
I probably could. All right, so let's find my love language.
All right. Hold on. I got to get this set up. Go ahead. Keep going.
So when we talk about like love languages, like it's not just like an intimate love though. It's like a love.
No, it could
for,
be
like,
anything. Yeah. Like, so I like I like words of affirmation too. I like when my boss tells me I do a good job.
Yeah.
Now, I used to rely on it. Like,
Okay.
It used to be.
That's
So
dangerous.
All of love languages, it shouldn't be this person has to feed me this or it's never going to work. That shouldn't be
Yeah.
how it is. You yourself need to heal or figure out your love language, give it to it yourself, and then when you receive it from other people, it's more of a gift. It's less of a
Nice.
finally they're making me feel good.
Yeah.
I hate the whole feelings thing. Like
Okay.
figure it out yourself. Don't blame other people for you feeling like crap. So
Damn.
I know that was deep.
You're dropping some knowledge today.
I'm a
This
smart
is-
person.
I didn't say you weren't. I'm digging it. No, like for real though, like I think it's just really interesting that now we as a society like educators are doing this more, like bosses, co-workers, all this, they're recognizing more of like these things that were like niche or maybe like not as recognized, but now they're coming more mainstream. Like I hear love language as a phrase often now, like whereas like 4 years ago I never heard it, you know, but now like I think people are becoming more cognizant of other people's feelings, whether they acknowledge it or not, you know what I mean, like is one thing, but like I feel like people are putting more stock into how people feel and their relationships with people, because I think that as we progress and we become more disconnected with phones and social media, the more we're going to want to become connected, and these new accepted norms are bringing us closer together. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Tom, you ready to figure out your love language?
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it, dog.
All right, let's do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, what's your name? Tom.
Thom.
Thom broth.
It means more to me. All right, I hope there's not a whole
Can
bunch
you
of
see
questions.
that? Oh my gosh, I can't even see that.
All right, Tom. So it says it means more to me when someone first one. All right.
What do you want to read them anyways?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
So it
read 'em
means
anyways.
more to me when someone I love helps me out when they know I'm already tired, or I get to go somewhere while spending time with someone I love.
Second one.
Second one.
Ooh, maybe quality.
Like to go, likes to spend time with people. It means more to me when someone I love says something encouraging to me, or I get to spend time in a shared activity or hobby with someone I love.
First one.
First one, encouraging. I receive a gift from someone I love, or I hear from someone I love that they love me.
Second one.
Second. Means more to me when I get the chance to just hang out with someone I love, or someone I love shows physical affection such as hugs and kisses.
First one.
It means more to me when I'm able to just be around someone I love, or I get back a back rub from someone I love.
First one.
You don't like that back rub?
I want a
I
back
do like the
rub.
back rub, but I like being around people more.
Okay. I'm around someone I love, even if we're really not doing anything, or I can be comfortable holding hands, high-fiving, or putting my arm around someone I love.
The first one.
First one.
Yeah.
Someone I love does something unexpected for me to help me with a project, or I can share innocent touch with someone I love. Second. It means more to me when someone I love helps me out, especially if I know they're already busy, or I hear someone I love tell me that they appreciate me.
The first one, for sure, because that person's already busy and they're investing time in me.
All right.
Yeah.
Someone I love does something special for me to help me out, or I get a gift from someone that I love. Put thought into choosing.
First one.
Someone I love and haven't seen in a while thinks enough of me to give me a little gift, or someone I love takes care of something I'm responsible to do, but too stressed to do at the time.
First one.
Shannon, have you taken this test?
Yes.
What was yours?
Mine is definitely quality time and words of affirmation.
Okay. Tom, it means more to me when I hear praise from someone I love, or someone I love gives me something that shows they were really thinking about me.
Second.
Someone I love puts their arm around me in public, or someone I love surprises me with a gift.
First one.
Someone I love works on a special project with me that I have to complete, or someone I love gives me an exciting gift.
Second.
Someone I love touches my arm or shoulder to show their care or concern, or someone I love gives a little gift that they picked up in the course of their normal day.
First one.
First. Means more to me when someone I love sends me a loving note, text, email for no special reason, or I hug someone I love.
First.
I can spend alone time with someone I love, just us, or someone I love does something practical to help me out.
First.
This is longer than I thought it was going to be.
I think it's only like 10 more questions.
All right, let's roll. We'll do it fast. So, it means more to me when someone I love does things for me instead of just talking about doing nice things, or I feel connected to someone I love through a hug. It means more to me when I can look forward to a holiday because I'll probably get a gift from someone I love, or I hear the words, I appreciate you from someone I love.
Second.
I hear someone I love tell me I'm proud of you, or someone I love helps me with a task.
First.
I'm complimented by someone I love or on my appearance, or someone I love takes the time to listen to me and really understand my feelings.
Second.
Your feelings, man.
Yeah, I think
I am.
I think Shannon was right. Someone I love gives me a little gift as a token of our love, or of our love of concern for each other, or I get to spend uninterrupted leisure time with those I love.
Second.
We're almost there. I can share a meaningful touch in person with someone I love, or someone I love offers to run errands for me.
Second. I hate running errands. I hate it.
It means more to me when someone I love doesn't check their phone while we're talking with each other. We just talked about that. Or someone I love goes out of their way to do something that relieves pressure on me.
Second.
I get to do things with someone I love, or I hear supportive words from
Second.
someone I love. I say close to someone I love, or I am complimented by someone I love for no apparent reason.
Second.
I'm able to be in a close physical proximity to someone I love, or I sense someone I love
Second.
showing interest in things I care about. Someone I love doesn't interrupt me while I'm talking, or gifts giving is an important part of the relationship.
First.
I get a hug from someone I love I haven't seen in a while. I hear someone I love tell me how much I mean to him or her.
First.
This might be the last question. Someone I love reacts positively to something I've accomplished, or someone I love does something for me that I know they don't particularly enjoy.
That's tough. Second.
Tom, love languages, words of affirmation.
And
look at
quality
that. And then quality time, acts of service, physical touch. Do not fucking touch Thom. Do not touch Thom. Everybody's got cooties. Don't touch Thom.
Fucking people, all your fingers are dirty.
I think I know what you're talking about there.
Mitch Diddy,
Mitch
baby.
Diddy. All right. So Thom's love language is words of affirmation.
It's cool.
So be nice to him and
Yes.
tell him nice things.
Yeah, just fucking be nice to me.
Be
man.
nice.
It's not hard.
Tell Thom nice things.
You'll give him
He enjoys
anxiety
it.
if you don't.
You're fucking right, you will. God in
So
heaven.
Thom, those are the 5 love languages, by the way.
That's interesting.
People actually do care about that. So
It's
you'll be
interesting. I've taken a test. I can't remember more.
You might gather
what-
more female client or more female gathering off of that.
Oh,
We gonna meet
ladies,
some
what's your
ladies.
love language?
Yeah. Let a man know.
Let us know. Take the test.
She said she wants some
The website is maybe I'll put it down in maybe I'll put a
Put it in
link.
the description.
I'll put a link right here.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll probably put it in the beginning and then maybe another one right here so you can go take it. Go take it.
It
Figure out
wasn't
your
too
love
long.
language.
It was a little long. Not too
Yeah, a
long.
little
No,
long.
at
It
all.
was a few minutes, 5-10 minutes, something
No,
like
but
that.
that was fun. I mean,
But
like, that was cool.
it's eye opening, kind of.
and it kind of makes me realize something that, like, I didn't even really think about. Like,
Or care about. Now you're gonna pay attention to it.
exactly. Now, like,
Now he's stuck.
well,
Tom's
see,
gonna
now,
get a T-shirt with his words of affirmation.
but no, that's the thing. Like I knew that, like, I liked being talked nice to, but I didn't realize that I preferred quality time over, like, receiving gifts. Like, I fucking and gifts don't have to be physical. Like it doesn't have to be like a
Back
fucking
rub, right? Mhm.
yeah. Like, gift could be a back rub. Gift could be like, you know, I'm doing the dishes and my wife walks by and smacks me
Hell
on the
yeah!
ass.
Oh, hell yeah! Men, we need to pick it up around here doing gifts of service to your woman, okay? Especially if she's a working woman. Y'all gotta do your chores, man, without being
That
asked.
shit ain't chores. That shit ain't chores. I own the
Without
house
being
too.
asked.
I own the house too. You know what I
Does Megan
mean?
have
Like,
to yell at you?
no, I'm
that's
on it
good.
about that shit. Like,
That's good.
I like doing the yard work. I love doing
Oh,
that
I didn't
shit.
say yard work.
I love doing.
What are you
the
saying, like
fucking-
dishes and
I'm
stuff?
saying the dishes. I'm
No,
saying
dog-
sweeping. I'm saying taking care of the dog. I'm saying
I
saying-
do the
What?
dishes all the time. The dishes are my thing, but I also have a dishwasher.
But you know what?
Her name's Megan. I'm just kidding. No, it's an Amana dishwasher, actually, off-brand piece of shit, but is working very well. But
they're
like,
not going to sponsor you.
I really like loading the shit in the dishwasher because when I was a kid, that was my job. Like, my dad would make me do it, and my dad was a son of a bitch about that shit, man. Like, if you didn't put all forks in one compartment, he would trip shit on you. Like, so now, like, I love doing, like, just marking everything in, and then when I'm done, I can just be like, forks, throw them in there, knives,
Oh,
throw
that's
them
smart.
in there.
I just put everything in.
No, like, I like
spot.
doing that shit.
I even put the knives right side up, so it's a little dangerous when you go to grab something.
Oh, you
Wait,
gotta
you do
live
that on
the
purpose?
edge.
Yeah.
You gotta live on the edge.
Yeah, I gotta have a little fun with it, I guess.
I don't
She
think
comes
that's
home and Bryce
fun.
is like,
She's missing
his
a finger.
fucking fingers hanging off. Thanks a lot.
Put the fucking knife right next time. Yeah, he freaks out about stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. Either I'm doing a pretty good job at chores or managing it, or Jahida just got sick of asking.
She doesn't give a shit anymore.
One of the two. But I mean, I stay busy.
I mean, you've been married for like 47 years, so I mean, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like after a minute,
48.
yeah. What's time? You know what I mean?
Right.
Benjamin Button. But God, got real off topic there. But
did. No, but I mean, just going back to, I guess, back on topic. I mean, so words of affirmations for kids, or just love languages in general.
exactly.
Yeah, I guess. But so you, as your job as a teacher, is to kind of figure out what their love language is.
Yeah, I do. I definitely don't force anything ever. If students, so a lot of the students we get, they aren't quick to jump into playing a sport or hanging out with friends or doing the activity that we're doing. I have to get them to trust me first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with dealing with any child that has trauma or disabilities. You got to get them to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you work into, oh, well, if you try this, I'll do it with you. Or if you want to, give me a high five or a knuckle. And if they don't want to, I don't force it. I don't yell at them. If
So
they
you
don't,
try to be cool.
yeah, if they don't want to participate right away, I'm not on them about it. Like, I'm not going to force that. It's weird.
Yeah.
And like teachers who are like, if you don't sit here and do this the way I said you have to do it, then you're going to fail or whatever the issue is. Like, give
Have
them
you
a
had
minute.
Have you had anybody get kicked out
Me?
of building bridges?
Yeah. So after, if they aren't successful at building bridges, we unfortunately have to, they have to pick a different alternative school, which the closest one I think is in Menor. So they have to get busing or transportation all the way out there. It's more expensive.
And that would be daily?
Yeah, it's more expensive for the school, might I add. It's
Right.
not, and more expensive to probably our taxpayers. So we want our kids to go be at their home school. We want them to, because it's,
But they would have to go out there daily, even if it is in Menor.
yes, yeah. And or they go to diversion, which is homeschool, and then they are left to fend for
devices.
themselves, and then
So
they
it's the
drop
responsibility
out,
of the
and-
parents at that time.
Yeah. Or,
How does
and,
this-
or homeschool.
How does the county
instruction.
even or state let that even happen?
What? Let students get to that point?
Yeah.
Depends on, a lot of them come from foster care, so they jump, you would think, what was it called? I can't think of the name. Children's Services.
Yes.
You would be surprised at, I mean, maybe you're not, but how many, at least I was surprised how many children in our community don't have a stable home. They're just bounced around constantly, or they don't have, their parents are heroin addicts and, or prostitutes. We have parents that are prostitutes that just hang around the streets, or parent moms. So many grandparents, you can go ahead and do the God bless them thing, whatever you say, because
Praise God.
praise God, that's what it is. Because grandparents, you'd be surprised at how many grandparents take care of their grandchildren. So
So that's beautiful that
Yeah.
they step up and do that.
yeah, so building bridges, we want them there. Like, we try to keep them there. So many of them are successful. They don't want to go back to their old school because it's not what it is, what they get from us. They get more one-on-one attention, which is what they need. And then and a lot of them just don't know how to receive it. That's the biggest problem. Is they don't know how to receive the help. They want to be this tough, hard, I'm, I know what I'm doing, or I want to be on the streets or whatever. I'd rather sell drugs at 12, 13 years old than hang out and play with kids. So they want to have this hard, tough demeanor. They want to be kicked out of school because they saw their dad kicked out of school or their dad go to prison.
I was going to say, is any of it, how much of it do you think is culture?
All of it, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, because if they don't know any better, if they don't know any different, then that's what they're going to do. That's their environment. So, I mean, we have to, that's why we try to show them a different environment, a different way to live life or to have fun. At least that's what I try to do.
Do you guys ever have guest speakers up there? Like people who were maybe in those kids' shoes at one point and it's kind of like, made stuff work?
No, I do think that should definitely be an option, but unfortunately, I don't know how many actually have. I mean, I know, like, I don't know about you, but maybe you, we kind of grew up, I didn't grow up nearly as bad as some of these other kids had to. I had to grow up fast, but I didn't have to grow up how most of these kids are. Like, most of these kids end up, abused in some way, shape, or form. They see too much, too little, being too little. So it just affects them. So, and it is sad. I think my first week of school, I cried for like a week, but then you tend to put a little shield up and be like, you know what, I'm helping them and it's good. And I wish more people knew about it. Like, I wish there was more help. And it's not always the case. Not all the kids that go to building bridges, Happy Hearts, are abused or whatever. That's not the case at all. Majority, yes. They just don't have the stability that other children do, unfortunately. Or they have, some of them have like disabilities, not mentally, health-wise. So that plays a huge effect into that too. So, just depends.
And so you also run a program, or you did this summer, right? Like a little workout program. What was that about?
The fitness?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a beach boot camp. That was pretty fun.
How long was it?
A week.
A week?
Yeah.
And it was every day?
Every day on the beach. Yep.
How
Okay,
many-
not a week, 5 days. Monday through Friday.
So a work week.
Yeah.
And like, what'd you do?
So
What ages did you see show up to?
Oh, there's all ages. So I had I think what Ariel's what 12, 13, no
11.
11, yeah. So so from 11 to 54, 56.
Oh, adults came.
Mhm.
Oh, no joke.
Yeah.
I thought it was just for kids.
Nope.
It was for all ages though.
All ages, yep.
So how did you like get that word out there, and what made you decide to do that?
Well, I'm also a fitness instructor, so
Are you certified?
yeah. My degree is actually in exercise science,
That's awesome.
but I took an alternative route and got my teaching license.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's super cool.
no, working out on the beach was super fun. It was hard for me because I am the one, it was just me, so I had to lug all the equipment onto the sand and lug it off of the sand. So I got my workout in too, but it was a good time, and people definitely want to do it again next year. So, and I think I'm going to try to get more help. More
Did you charge for it?
yeah, I charged I can't remember actually, $50 for the week. So it'd technically be $10 per class, which isn't unreasonable. That's if you go take a class at the YMCA, you're paying $10 for that class. So
That's pretty sweet.
yeah.
That's cool. And then was that like a lot of them just like their first time really getting out in a while?
Yeah. I don't think any of them were physically active, and I actually did a 8-week program at my work too, which is what made me want to do
For staff or for the
for
kids?
staff.
Yeah.
For the staff. So I did the 8-week program just kind of as like a bonding thing, and I had I think I had 24 employees in that 8-week challenge. I called it an 8-week challenge, but I would just do like a HIIT class 3 days a week for them.
What's HIIT?
HIIT, so it's high intensity interval training, HIIT. It's where you do like a series of 35, 40 seconds with a high intense workout, and then you get 10-second rest, and you do it again, and you do it in
Is
multiple
it similar
series.
to CrossFit?
CrossFit is more like heavy lifting and with intense workouts, or I mean with an intense body movement. It's like a
Right.
dynamic movement. So you'll see CrossFitters like having a huge like heavy 25-pound belt, and then they're doing like a pull up or whatever. Like
Gotcha.
that's more so CrossFit, where it's a dynamic movement. You're doing 2 different things at once. So you're doing the core and the
I tried that
chin
shit
lift or
one
whatever.
time. Never again. Brandon Hanna had me do it.
Most people
I
who
thought I
do
was
it for
gonna
the
die.
first time end up in the hospital because their muscles start to shut down.
Wait, CrossFit?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not like trained or prepared, you show up to a class, like you're gonna die probably.
I mean, we did CrossFit in the Marine Corps, but then again, we did shit all the time.
Yes,
So
like, if
Yeah,
you're
it's
actually
different for
you
you,
can't
yeah.
go from being sedentary to going into CrossFit. There's no way I mean, you can do it, but you're gonna feel like ass, and then you're never gonna want to work out again.
It was awful. Like it
so
was
start
bad.
light.
Start light. I think HIIT's a great way to feel good, but you don't want to do that every single day either, because then your body starts to plateau. So if you do HIIT 5 days a week, your body's going to plateau. You're going to stop work. Your body's going to stop changing. The way we get our body to change is if by constantly shocking it.
Right.
So doing HIIT for a couple days, say 2 or 3 days a week, and then jumping into something like CrossFit 1 day a week, that's putting your body into shock. And then maybe the next week running, 6 miles, putting your body into shock again. Like people who run a lot, if you notice, they lose weight, yes, but then they plateau. Nothing else changes. And then the body actually starts, once you plateau and you keep doing the same things, your body actually starts to break down. That's why people need like knee surgery, hip surgery, because they keep doing the same thing over and over again. You have to change it constantly.
So when you talk about that, like, so there's like obviously NFL players, they're training all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you always see them, they're just in the weight room, it looks like, and they're lifting and
heavy.
running.
Lifting
But
heavy is the best thing.
So how do
What
they
do you mean
change
the
it
best
up?
thing?
Well, how do you change it up?
Yeah, like if you were an NFL offensive tackle, you're 6'7", 350 pounds. I don't think that motherfucker's going and doing 6 miles.
I bet you he's
know
doing
what I
ballet.
mean? You think?
Yeah, I bet you they're doing all kind of stuff, especially if you're big like that. You know, to get more grace, they're probably doing like ballet or yoga or
Yeah, yoga's awesome.
you know what I'm saying?
And there's like so many different variations of yoga. I didn't even realize until
Goat
recently.
yoga.
What?
Yeah, there's
Goat? You haven't heard of goat yoga?
What the fuck is goat yoga?
Get woke, man. Is that
You don't
woke?
know-
Woke is the new.
Yeah. Goat
don't know.
yoga, dude.
What is goat yoga? Is that like where there's a fucking goat in the room?
Yeah,
with
and
me?
they jump on you and stuff, I guess.
You're lying.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking with me.
I've
No.
never done goat yoga.
It's
I heard
it's a
of it.
real thing. Like you
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah, dude.
What?
Goat yoga. You do yoga with goats and they jump on you and like look at this.
It's the greatest thing.
Look at
in the world.
this.
If that cute little motherfucker jumped on me, I'm bringing it home.
No, I think people just worry about it peeing or pooping on them usually.
They do
I
pee
don't
and
give a
poop on
shit.
you.
But they don't care, I guess.
But yeah, they're just yoga with goats.
And they poop. And
I don't so I'm curious what the purpose of that is.
I think it's like a mental thing. Like it's a feel good. Like when you see a puppy, you smile. So like putting a goat on your back makes you smile, I guess.
Why don't they do puppy yoga?
They do.
Oh, do they?
They do. All
Oh my
kinds of yoga.
gosh.
I
I
couldn't
guess-
handle if my dogs were in there doing yoga with me. I'd probably kick him in the face and be like, "Get the fuck,
Frank,
out."
move.
It wouldn't be Frank. It'd be Charlie. It'd be Charlie because he'd just like be snarling next to you, like putting his face in your face.
Yeah,
and, like,
mine would just jump on me and start licking my face.
my dogs have no boundaries.
Neither do mine.
Like they don't understand.
do you have beagles?
No,
Mine are beagles and they suck. But I love them. So
mine are like German shepherds and pit bulls and chows and shit. They're stupid.
And shit.
anyways, you asked me about
Anyways.
what's the best? Why is heavy?
Yeah, why is
weight
heavy
training?
why is yeah.
Because lifting heavy will put your body into shock. So, like, there's been studies done where if you lifted once a week, heavy as shit, like heavy as fuck, you will-
Basically max out.
yes, you will lose weight. Over
Wait,
time.
you'll lose weight.
Yes,
Really?
yes. If you lift heavy consistently once a week, because you're going from lifting heavy to doing nothing.
Nothing.
Not doing nothing. Obviously, be active of some sort. You don't have
so
to
play-
work
Take a
out.
walk or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
walk, go to fucking work. I know that's weird to say, but go to work. People don't want to go to work, anyways. If you do that, and then you do like light stuff, then lift heavy again. Boom, you're putting your body into that shock again, and that never gets old. You know what I mean?
I do. So
that's why
So what you're saying?
when you see fitness people or famous celebrities, when you see
Yes.
them in the gym, they're lifting heavy as fuck, right? Because they're trying to gain. They're getting
Yeah.
gains, and that's what they're doing.
yeah. So
But that's just a weird science to me. Just lift heavy
you're
once a
probably
week.
burning so many calories in that one session, and
It's not even about it is about the calories. I've never
But you're just
counted
saying-
my calories or macros or whatever the fuck. I just do things to be healthy, I guess. But yeah, if you lift heavy, you will lose. It'll change for you.
Mm.
see, healthy's such a weird term to me. Because everyone's version of healthy is different, right? Like I went to the doctor recently. They did a check on me, and they're like, "Yeah, I mean, you're a little bit overweight by about 20 pounds, but your heart's great, your blood sugar's amazing, your cholesterol's great, your blood pressure amazing." Like, and to me, that's healthy. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm fucking healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably lose some weight. I kind of want to, but I mean, at the same time, like, if I'm fine with it and I'm not at risk for fucking a triple bypass surgery in 5 years.
Tom, you should
know?
lose weight. With all you keep the long hair, you look like Jason Momoa.
Bro, I'm not going for the Momoa. I'm going for the straight up Hemsworth, baby. I'm going for that Hemsworth. I'm going for that Jesus on the cross look with that long brown hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the
Praise
beard.
God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm going for. But no, but I think it's like, what do you think about that? Like, healthy, like,
I don't think you said anything that was wrong. I think if you are feeling good, then I don't like saying feeling good because the word feeling could be different.
But that's the point, right?
if-
Subjective.
Yeah, if you're happy with the way that your life is and the way that you look and feel, then that's fine. Now, if you want to lose a little bit of weight, nothing wrong with that either. Do it.
It's not really fine though. If you're fat as fuck and you're happy with it, it's still not
They're
fine.
lying. They're
They're
genuinely
lying, yeah.
happy, like good, like.
I mean, but they may be happy, but it's still not fine.
But-
they may be content
but if-
or
listen, if you're fat, or I don't even like saying fat, whatever. If you're heavier, and but you are active, that's good. I've seen a lot of flexible and strong women. Now, women's body type are different than men, who are completely healthy. Like, they're great. They might look like they're heavy, but they're actually stronger and healthier than probably 80% of the people around them. It's
Miss
just
Trunchbull from Matilda. She was just so big, but she was like,
yeah, that's what I'm getting the vision of, like
yeah.
somebody who's bigger, stronger, like. But I mean,
Women's body type is just crazy with like.
well,
in
it's
terms of-
plays on genetics too. Like, genetics play a huge role on how our body transforms. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen women who have huge ass legs but no ass, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
Well, it's because their legs genetically take over when they're lifting or exercising. Their legs will take over their ass muscle because that's the more dominant muscle. So you actually have to focus your muscle when you're working out, your ass muscle, or your ass is never going to grow.
So they got to think about their
The
glutes.
ass, yes. You have to think about
And-
the ass squeezing and like.
did you? I've heard, I don't know how true it is, that Bruce Lee never used to lift weights.
I never heard
It
that
was-
Bruce Lee didn't lift weights.
I heard he
that
would.
Bruce Lee never practiced.
How could you not? No, how can you be that good and not practice?
Allen Iverson.
We're talking about practice.
Exactly.
So no, I heard Bruce Lee, like he would just sit there and just flex like 1,000 times and just flex his muscles instead of like lifting. He would just flex his muscles, and that's how he was, and he was shredded as he was.
I mean, genetically, for sure, he probably had. I mean, how many skinny people do you know have a 8-pack, 10-pack? I mean, they're genetically muscle there, but yeah, like I mean, that's contract. I mean, that's all it is when you're lifting is contracting your muscle. He's just doing technically low weight, heavy rep. He's doing like calisthenics. He's doing his own body weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Roberto Clemente.
So there's no excuse. If you're fat, fucking flex.
just squeeze your arms like this.
Roberto Clemente, the pitcher for the Pirates back in a long time ago, he never lifted weights. He would just take the baseball and grip it and just squeeze it like all day and all night. And his arm was huge and he could throw 90 miles an hour. And it crazy. He never lifted weights. It was just gripping a baseball.
Whenever
It's
you do
crazy.
PT or OT, I don't know if any of you have had an injury.
I've done OT.
Injury.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they making you do?
OT is
exercises.
Simple, tiny exercises, but yet somehow you gain all this strength back.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
I've done OT. Yeah, it was just like normal things that you do throughout your day, but forcing you to use, like you said, if you have an injury, forcing you to use that muscle or that joint or appendage, whatever it may be.
Like whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you're focusing on it. You're directing your energy to it too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not real big into stuff like that, but I do think that like energy, vibes, whatever, play a big part in it. You
yeah,
know what
I'm
I mean?
huge on
Like
that. Mhm.
you're directing all that positivity, that fucking rage, maybe that fucking whatever it may be, whatever gamut of emotion that you're running through, you're directing it to there. And like, hey man, I'm trying to walk again. You know what I mean? Like I busted my ankle all up and I keep falling. I can't fucking do it. So you're getting pissed and you're fucking angry and doing it. And then what happens? They start going. You know what I mean? They're on a roll with it. So I think that the energy plays part in it too.
Yeah,
Like,
because you have to connect. It's called the CNN muscle or whatever. You gotta connect your CNN to your muscle. So if
What's
you-
your CNN? That's like a news channel.
that's a liberal news channel.
I could be wrong. I don't know. It could be called. I'm pretty sure it's called the CNN. In like it's like a receptor in your brain that like if I'm lifting, for example, doing my biceps, and I'm listening to music. I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm thinking about not lifting. That's why I'm an advocate for not listening to music when you work out, but some people need it. So if I'm not focused on the muscle that I'm training, I'm not doing it as much service as if if I'm just listening to music or hanging out, thinking about something else instead of working out.
You feel like you're not focusing on that pump, like
Right.
that end. What is it? Whenever you get to the end of the rep and you like contract like you really gotta contract your muscle hard. Like what's that called? Isn't there a name for it?
Yeah, I can't think of it though. I know you have to stretch it as far as you can and then bring it as close as you can.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know the specific name of that.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't work
couldn't
out.
Tell you.
I don't work out
either. Clearly.
I never thought
Genetics.
about the name. Yeah, you got genetics.
Yeah.
So.
If I did work out though,
Could you imagine?
could you
You'd rip
imagine?
that shirt.
I'd be getting texts like Tom.
Yep.
Bro, I'll tell you what. If we worked out, we could do this podcast shirtless.
You know what's crazy is actually on this shirt today at work. I was having a day at work. It was just one of them days where just nothing was really going right. So and then I was finally decided to eat lunch at like 4:30.
Not at the pretzel place.
No, because it's not there. But I went and grabbed some Mexican food, and I was eating my food, and I spilled my food, dropped it from my tortilla onto my shirt and on my shoe. But I got home, and I just threw the shirt in the washer real quick, and my wife asked me, she's like, "Are you doing this?" And I came down here to get everything set up. She's like, "Are you doing the podcast shirtless today?" I was like, "No, not today."
Maybe down the line, baby.
Yeah. Maybe if you guys come work out with me, we can all you
Hey,
can be shirtless.
We'll come to the beach boot camp.
Yes.
And then we'll do a before and after episode shirtless,
Yeah.
and we'll show the results.
From just 1 week.
Yeah.
Dog, if I'm doing a workout on a
I'm
beach,
trying to picture him running on the beach.
With the long hair,
Yeah.
it might look real good.
hey,
Until
you
he's
don't got a
bouncing,
picture, girl,
boy.
you'll see it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm wearing an American flag, American Eagle Speedo.
There you
like
go.
it, like
Thong Speedo. Is that a Speedo, thong?
Speedo could be a thong.
first of all, duh. How dare you insinuate that I wouldn't? Second of all, anyone that wants to see that, come check me out at this high
Do
intensity.
you have cake
workout.
back there or no?
Do I what?
Have cake back there? Cake? Like, do you have an ass or no?
No, I
Or is
don't.
it just a pancake ass?
It's pretty much
He said,
like
she said, you got cakes or pancake.
I got pancake. You know what I mean? Like I don't got that fat ass. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
Don't got
Tommy
that Dunkin'
Minaj.
Dunk.
Oh, well, then you
Tommy
don't deserve to
Minaj.
wear a Speedo.
I'm like Ice Spice. Yeah, I wish. Oh my god, I'd have a pooper at that point, dude. You know what I'm saying? Praise God. But no, like for real. I think it's really awesome that you've invested in yourself educationally and physically, and just trying to make others better as well. Like I think that's really admirable, and I think that's a trait that not a lot of people they might possess it, but they might not be able to put it into practice. I think that it's super cool that you've been able to parlay your love of physical fitness and education and combine that into something that's like threefold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're at a school, you're doing you're a gym teacher, you're a more than a gym teacher, you're a life teacher essentially, and then you're a fucking coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Good
Yeah,
for you,
I
dude.
really.
Round of applause.
I can never. Literal. I like that. That's really cool. Anyways, I'm not. One of those
I still don't
people-
think it comes out right on the audio, like
No.
once it's recorded,
It
but
does.
that is a round of applause, people.
I like it. I'm hearing it again through my thing.
You're not hearing it right now.
I did.
right now.
No, you probably heard something out there.
Oh, anyway. I can't be one of those people who are like, oh God, I hate my life or I hate my job. But I was like, when I first went to college, everyone's like, oh, just go be a nurse. Go be a nurse. Go do this. It's easy money. And I'm just like, dude, no. And you don't know how quickly I wanted to be like, oh, you're right. Like, I should just go do it. But I knew at the end of the day, like, that wasn't going to make me happy ever. So I'm really big on making sure people do things that make them happy. Like, don't just go to work and call it work. Like, that sucks.
So let me ask you, what's the next move? Are you gonna like retire as a gym teacher, or
No, my next move is I'm in the works of trying to start a physical fitness app.
Oh, you want to start an app?
Yeah. So I want to create an app for people to download.
Didn't you message me about that?
I did, because I thought maybe you were smart enough to create an app.
I'm not that smart.
Damn.
Chat
Well,
GPT.
huh?
Chat GPT.
Oh yeah,
That'll
no
make
joke.
I'm dead ass. That'll help you make that app.
What is
Probably
it?
haven't. You don't know what ChatGPT
It's
is?
artificial intelligence that
AI.
you talk to.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you
really?
can tell it to do something or like give it. It'll write script for you. So if you need to write an app, you can write an app,
Yeah.
or you can use it to help you write an app.
Really?
Mhm.
I'm really nervous about that whole genetically. What do you call it again? What's it called?
AI.
AI. Yeah, I'm really weird about that.
Speaking of genetically, and we were just talking about genetics. Are you familiar with CRISPR?
CRISPR? No.
You're not familiar with CRISPR?
No.
So CRISPR is a gene editing technology.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's odd.
The Liver King used it.
Did he?
How can you edit your genetics?
He
So
wanted
it's-
to make his
so-
muscles bigger.
So CRISPR is
That's freaky.
it's a technology, but it's like a molecule basically that goes in. You'd have to watch a video on it, but essentially what it does, it goes in, targets a specific part of the genome, and it cuts it out, and then it can replace it with the mutated. So it's very accurate where it attacks the genome or where it enters, and it's basically like a zipper. It takes your DNA, cuts a part of it out, replaces it with the modified part, and yeah. So
I
that's
wonder
how
what they tested that on.
there's a lot of tests. They actually, for sickle cell, I think they're making some pretty good progress with that. But
I just got you the basis of your app right here.
Oh, that's so interesting.
airdrop it later with
Yeah.
the.
Cool.
But you
Now
got
when
your.
you make it, since I did that, I get 10%.
Fine. I mean, it wasn't going to be too expensive. It's just it would be called Do Something. So, every day you would just
Better
go
trademark
in.
that.
Huh?
Better trademark it.
I know, right? Oh,
I'm gonna
I don't want
trademark
to
it
talk
tonight.
about it yet because I don't want anyone to steal my ideas.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to wait.
That's gorgeous. That's beautiful. That's beautiful that you want to do shit like that. That's awesome.
So all right. So you make the app. Then what?
Then I just go with the flow, I guess. I wouldn't mind doing more in the. I love being a gym teacher, so honestly, I could say that I would be comfortable doing that forever. But obviously, that's not how I roll. So I would eventually want to progress. But I'm gonna just enjoy my journey at the moment and just kind of. I'm not rushing anything. For once in my life, I'm actually very content and happy with how things are in every aspect of my life. So that's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yep. Because people are always trying to move to the next thing or work. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think we also have to learn to be happy and content with what we got right now.
Hell no.
No?
No.
Never? You
No.
never want to be happy with what
Have
you
you
got
ever
right
heard
now?
Have you ever heard the saying complacency kills?
That's what I'm saying. But for a little bit. It's got to be a balance.
Complacency kills because you get complacent being complacent, and then you just slip into an area where you're just comfortable being complacent, and that's how it stays.
But you have to balance. I like that. I mean, I'm not wrong with it. There's got to be a balance. So you can't because if you're constantly moving, then you're never appreciative of what you have. You're just always moving.
Yeah, but you should always be working toward a goal.
but that's why
You shouldn't
famous
stop
people-
once you get to your goal.
So famous people are depressed and angry. Why?
Because they're not striving for a goal anymore.
Yeah, they don't have it.
They made it. They don't have a goal. That's why
I don't
complacency
agree with
kills.
that. I don't agree with that. There's no way. Like Bradley Cooper, Leonardo DiCaprio, those guys, they're never content, man. They're always looking for the next. I mean, think about
Right, but some of them are. Some of them get rich, famous, and then they just think they don't have to do anything anymore.
yeah, they're called Marvel actors. They're guys that do superhero movies. They don't have to do shit ever again, bro. Robert Downey Jr. don't got to do dick for the rest of his life.
But I think they find a spot where they're like, okay, I'm gonna ride this out for a little bit now. I'm cool. I made it. Yeah, they made it. And to me, I made it right now, and I'm happy with that. And then eventually, knowing how I am, I'm never gonna just stay here. I'll end up doing something more. But for a little bit now, I'm gonna enjoy what's going on right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you should enjoy it for a hot
For a
second,
little
but
bit. When I get
but
that
you should
itch
still
again, I'm not gonna ignore the itch. I'm gonna feed it when I get it.
I don't know. I think you can definitely appreciate where you're at, especially if you really reflect on where you came from.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should sit in it too long. All right, I made it. What did Coop say when we had Coop on the show? Coop said he won Homecoming King, and he came home. And
it's never done. It's never finished.
And his grandmother, he was super excited. His grandmother said, he told his grandma, I won Homecoming King. She said,
take out the trash.
Don't forget to take out the trash.
Oh.
Because, and then later on in life, he's calling her before a football game because he played Division I football, and he would talk to her about things, and he said, why weren't you proud of me when I told you I won Homecoming King? And she said, because if we would have done and celebrated that, then that would have been it. There would have been nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's always more. There's always more to strive for. There's always more to go after.
Something
you weren't
always
done.
needs to be done.
You weren't done. Something more needed to be done.
Yeah.
And that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it wasn't that she wasn't proud of him. She was proud of him, but she wanted to.
There's more than just
Basically-
winning Homecoming King.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we got to graduate high school. Now we got to go Division I football. Now we got to be the starting quarterback.
Right.
You know, she probably had a fucking 20-year plan for him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But are you living if you're just constantly going for more?
yeah.
I mean, are you living that? I mean, isn't that what living is? Like if you're
Yes and no.
if you're just sitting idly by, not progressing, I mean, are you really living? You might as well. I don't want to say like literally dead. You don't want to be literally dead, but
No.
you're not doing anything new. You're not pushing yourself. You're not striving for that next step. You're just sitting stagnant. And what happens when stuff gets stagnant? It gets stale, or you know what I'm saying? Like it
That's
just
what, yeah, and I agree with that. But there's got to be a balance too. Like how you said, like she didn't. I mean, she was happy for him, but I think a lot of us forget to celebrate our wins. Like we forget that celebrating process. Like we just go, 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 go. You gotta have a celebrating process.
Nah, I disagree. I mean, you can celebrate internally.
But you don't think you should express it and celebrate it. Like, yeah, I got that. Hell yeah. And then you move on. Yeah, I got that. Fuck it. And then
In
you
a
can
way.
look back and be like, look at all my accomplishments. And I enjoyed every
In the
step
moment,
of it.
in the moment, you can celebrate.
Yeah.
But that next moment, you better be pushing yourself again.
I've only celebrated once in my professional career. I've only celebrated one time, and then every other time it's just always been like I've been here before. You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, cool. And then I keep it going. Like, it kind of sucks because it took the joy out of it in a way.
What, celebrating?
Yeah, like, so when you're a salesperson for General Motors, if you hit, like, there's like 10 criteria, and not a lot of people hit it. Like, not a lot of people do this.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it my first full year in sales. And ever since then, I've won it 4 years in a row. Every year. And, like, I crush it. Like, I'm always winning it. And this most recent time, like, I was just kind of like, all right.
Thanks.
You know, yeah, thanks. Hey, I get another diamond on my ring. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Because you get, like, this ring from it. It kind of looks like a Super Bowl ring. And they add, like, a new diamond in there and shit. You know? And it's cool. But, like, now I'm just at the point where I'm like, okay, well, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think it's a perspective thing.
it's definitely perspective.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a perspective thing. That's all.
But
How you view it.
I think that you should always celebrate other people, though.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
I'm gonna always celebrate your wins. You know what I mean? But for me, I'm not gonna celebrate my wins all the time.
Why not? You should. I used to, like, when I graduated college, I was just, like, in non-acceptance of it. I'm like, so what? Other people do better things than me. Who cares? But that's, I wish I could go back and just be like, hell yeah, dude. Like, that's so freaking awesome that I did
I
that.
felt the same way when I graduated college. Like, I was like, everyone else does it.
Yeah.
I literally don't know where my $100,000 piece of paper is. I have no idea where it's at.
Your diploma.
My diploma, I have no idea where that thing's at. I couldn't tell you. It's literally missing. Like, my mom doesn't know where it's at. My dad has no fucking clue. And my younger brother went, "Oh, damn, you don't know. Damn, cat." And then he walked away, and I was like,
Yeah, that's an environment thing too. Like like if people in our environment have to celebrate, like you said, you're gonna always celebrate him. That's awesome. But
I always celebrate
it's
Anthony.
it's so hard to do that for people sometimes. You either do it out of genuine love, or you do it out of jealousy, or you don't do it at all because you don't care.
I always think it's easier to celebrate other people's wins because I get so genuinely happy for them. Like genuinely happy. Like 3 of my closest friends are entrepreneurs. Anthony, Willie, and David. They're all entrepreneurs and they're all doing their fucking thing and I'm so fucking proud of them. And anything that they do, I'm just like, I'm your biggest fan, bro. You know what I mean? But like for me, like I sit there and I look at my shit and I'm like, what am I really doing? I'm fucking selling cars.
But that's an awesome thing.
There's nothing to it though. It's the easiest job in
You
the world.
You haven't developed a clientele of people who enjoy your conversation or company.
Yeah, probably
through
about
your
1,000
cars,
people.
through your cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many connections have you made?
Thousands.
A ton.
Thousands.
That's something to celebrate.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Perspective.
I feel bad. People come to my shop. They're like, "Yeah, I was just here 2 weeks ago," and I'm like,
You break your phone again, you stupid fuck?
and I'm like, "You were okay? What did we do? Oh, we fixed your screen. Okay, all right. Yeah, I see so many people though that it gets tough to keep up.
Yeah, it's hard for me to remember all my girls' names for volleyball. I can't. That's hard to remember all of them. So.
But
Hey, you.
They're like, "Hi,
You.
Coach Tome," or I used to be Bartone. Hi, Coach Bartone, Miss Shannon, whatever. And I'm like, "Oh, hey," and then that's it. So.
and then that's it. And I think that is it for us. Yeah, Shannon, do you have anything to add before we take off?
No, this was fun. Thanks.
Yeah, Tom.
I'm good, man. I just want to thank you for coming on, Shannon. It was a pleasure conversing with you and getting to know a little bit more of your professional goals, aspirations, and how you positively impact a community of students that desperately need it. So hats off to you for doing that. We will be posting next week. We'll have another couple videos coming out for you guys. So keep looking for some content. If you are looking for someone that you want on the show, if you have an idea of someone that you'd like to see, please drop us a line either on Facebook, Instagram, here on YouTube. We'd love to do more interviews. So yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got too. Thank you for joining us. We will see you on the next one. Peace.